So every time I'm confronted with something where I need to set up my boundaries, I'm always reminding myself, this is my goal. Am I going to get closer to it or am I going to get further away from it by me saying yes to something that I believe will not be able to help me financially? So why is it so hard to set money boundaries? You see, money is tied to your relationships, your expectations, and your identity. That's why setting boundaries could feel like you're selfish. Whenever you turn around and tell someone no, the number one feeling, especially for me, I'm a people pleaser, and I love helping people, it makes me feel like I'm being selfish. So let's have a conversation. Let's talk about the hardest part when it comes to money. What do you guys think it is? It's the art of saying no. Saying no to yourself when someone invites you to go to a concert. You want to see Beyonce, you want to see Taylor Swift, you want to see Kendrick, but the problem is that you're broke. And during these times, so many people find ways to use Afterpay or use a credit card to go to events even though they are broke. Saying no to someone that needs financial help. That is hard as well, especially if you're a people pleaser or your parents ask you, you really want to help them. You want to give them back because they gave so much to you. But the problem is saying no to people that actually helped you out along your journey is by far the hardest things to do. So most people don't say no. And the hardest person to say no to it as well is yourself. When you want to buy those nice pair of sneakers, when you want to go shopping, but you're looking at your budget and you know you can't, saying no is extremely important, but it's the hardest thing to do. So we know, really, setting boundaries in your life is extremely important. But the guilt that comes along with it by far is the hardest emotion that you need to overcome. So in this video, what I want to do, and hopefully I can help you out, is share with you some of the things that I actually did to overcome this and the guilt that I faced. And trust me, I still deal with it this day because it's not easy. But I'm going to let you know how I overcame it, and you could do the same as well. So why is it so hard to set money boundaries? You see, money is tied to your relationships, your expectations, and your identity. That's why setting boundaries could feel like you're selfish. Whenever you turn around and tell someone no, the number one feeling, especially for me, I'm a people pleaser, and I love helping people, it makes me feel like I'm being selfish. And then it also makes you feel like you're letting someone down. Someone's so excited and being bold and courageous and just putting their ego to the side and their pride to the side to ask you for some help. And you know you can't, that right there is heartbreaking. But if you don't got it, you just don't got it. And when it comes to money and setting boundaries, it's really hard as well because you're being so strict. Currently, during these times, if you try to fix an issue, it's going to feel like you're being extremely strict, and you don't like that. No one likes using a budget for the fact of it's too strict. It's so restrictive in the things that you could do. And when you're trying to set boundaries, that's going to happen. So you need to confront that right away, which I had to do. For me, the biggest guilt by far came from the fact of I'm a people pleaser. I love pleasing people financially, helping them out, emotionally, just being there for everyone. And if I know financially, if I can't help them out in certain ways, that by far was one of the hardest things for me to overcome. But I discovered quick that every time I say yes to things that I wasn't able to do, I was basically saying no to my financial future and to my goals. So I had to choose, and I had to choose saying no more often. Do I say it 100% of the times? No. There's no possible way you go from where I came from to saying no to every single thing. But I certainly picked and choose, and I was being extremely honest with myself. And here's what helped me build boundaries and build confidence. I had a conversation with myself. I wrote it down in my journal, and even when I go for walks, guys, I'm always meditating and just having this conversation with myself. And what I told myself is, what is it I'm trying to do? What is my goal? My goal in life right now is to hit financial freedom. Financial freedom, yes, is the number one goal, but also what comes along with that is time freedom, emotional freedom. I wanted all of that within my life. So every time I'm confronted with something where I need to set up my boundaries, I'm always reminding myself, this is my goal. Am I going to get closer to it or am I going to get further away from it by me saying yes to something that I believe will not be able to help me financially? So after I had that conversation with myself, I recognized, okay, these are the goals I want to do. Then I need to sit down and say, what is keeping me from hitting those goals? And there were so many things that was not allowing me to hit the goals. A lot of it, guys, really was the social media and the news. Hearing all the negativity and even having friends around me regurgitating the stuff they're hearing in the news about all this negativity and people complaining about work and people complaining about 9 to 5, it really wasn't helping me. You see, every time I heard that, I felt like I was justified to doom spend and do all the things in life that I want to do because tomorrow's not guaranteed. But the older I got and the wiser I got, I recognized this is just life. Life is not guaranteed. I wish life was easy, but it's not going to be easy. And the fact that it's not easy means it's opportunity for you to learn and to grow, because so many people struggle with that. They struggle with the fact that life is not easy. So what they do is they do not try anything that's hard, that's worthwhile having. For me, I pivoted. I said, you know what? I'm going to face my fears directly, because that will be the only way I'm going to build wealth. And that's the only way I'm going to hit emotional and financial freedom. And then I had to have the conversation of, okay, who and what am I saying yes to? That right there is the most fun part. Okay, what are you saying yes to? Are you saying yes to the fact of, now I could put money into a 401k account. Now I could put money into a Roth IRA account. Okay, maybe rather than going to vacation 2 times a year, because vacations to me are really, really important. Now I'm gonna go just 1 time a year. What things in my life I'm gonna say yes to? Going to concerts, I appreciate concerts. Can I go to all of them? No, but I do go to some of them. Spending money on the NFL Sunday ticket. I love watching NFL games here at my house. My wife is here as well as watching with me. Go Bills. I watch it on my Bills games. I watch it at home. I enjoy it. But I can't sign up to all these services that I would love to have, right? I would love to watch the NBA League Pass. I would love to, have all these channels at my house. I would love it, but I gotta choose. HBO Max is awesome, it's great, but I cannot have that monthly charging within my account for watching just one show every year. So I have to pick and choose. So I choose wisely the stuff in my life that I do want to say yes to, and make sure I remain consistent and do not deviate from it. You see, you can do this as well. Especially for me, this is what I dealt with. Trying to build an emergency fund is extremely hard. So every single time I had my goal, creating my emergency fund. So every time I would have a decision to make on something, I make sure I don't overcommit to something, because I say, okay, why am I saying no? Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I'm trying to build my emergency fund. And we all know, guys, as soon as an emergency hits and you have an emergency fund, it's nothing but just a small inconvenience. But if you don't have an emergency fund because you're here buying stuff and not setting boundaries, then when an emergency happens, it could be even $200 and it feels like it's a catastrophe. So with all of that, that's just like an internal conversation I'm having with myself. But reality is another thing. So I need to prepare myself on what to tell people in case they ask me. You can't get caught slipping, okay? If you know you cannot hang out with your friends as much because they want to go out and drink and they're always partying and spending all this money, you have to, before they ask you to go out, have answers in your head before you get put in a situation where you feel like, okay, they guilted me, and then you go out and you do it. So for social events, I say, you know what? I can't right now. I really didn't budget for it, but is there anything else we could do that's low key? Or if not, let's try to do something else, and you give them something to do that's within your budget. Now, I know what you're saying. Who the hell walks around saying, I'm on a budget? Well, listen, it's 2025. We all need to be real about our finances. We all cannot walk around cosplaying like everything is great. Be honest. That's your friends, right? You chose them for a reason. If you can't be honest with them, then why do you even have them around? If someone asks you, hey, can you lend me some money? I don't have it right now. I wish I did, but I don't have it right now. And at the same time, offer them some help. Listen, what are you trying to do to increase your income? I can give you some ideas. I know some side hustles. I know certain things that you can do temporarily to help you boost up your income. Try to help them out. Most likely, their pride and their ego is not going to tell you what's going on. But the fact is, at least you gave them a solution, a possible solution. It's up to them whether to accept it or not. And then you need to protect yourself from yourself. You know what? I really want this. I want to buy these pair of sneakers. Not because I need it, because I want it. You have to have something in place, okay, to prevent you from actually making some dumb decisions. For me, it's very easy. I just remind myself, I'm trying to build an emergency fund. It's really important. The sneakers is great and all, but if I can't pay my bills, these sneakers are gonna do me no good. If I can't put gas in my car, maybe the sneakers will be good. I have to walk to work, but overall, it's not going to help. So I tell myself, no, I can't buy it. But I don't just say no, that's it. What I say is, give me 2 or 3 months and then I will go ahead and buy this. It's really not that important. But you do not want to say no to everything for the rest of your life. But at least having the ability to say no once in a while will certainly help you in the long run. And let's be honest, man, guilt is just never going to go away. No matter how much boundaries you set to make it as easy as possible, guilt is always going to be there and it's always going to be eating at you. And if you're feeling guilty, that means whatever you're doing is right. You're going to have to feel some pain. You see, some people have no boundaries, so they never feel guilt. Or they feel guilt a year after making some horrible financial decisions. And that only lasts a month or two until they get that tax refund and they're right back into spending, keeping themselves in the trap. Because really, man, listen, you got to protect your peace. No one out there is going to care for you as much as you're going to care for yourself. And you have to protect it by all means necessary. It really does feel like everyone is attacking you, whether it's your friends, your family, social media, marketing, sales. Everyone is trying to mess up your peace, and you really need to protect it. Because think about life without worries or finances and just having some peace and tranquility. That's all we want in life. We want to make a lot of money for one reason and one reason only, to not have to do the things that we don't want to do. That right there should be one of your goals to why you want to make sure you create boundaries. So setting boundaries is not going to make you cold. It's not going to make you a bad person. What that's really doing is saying, I put myself first. I put what matters to me the most first because I need to take care of myself. You're choosing boundaries over burnout. That's what's up. Catch you guys on my next video. Oh yeah, by the way, take the time, hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Peace.